So after my last video yesterday, a lot of people were asking me about Todd Howard working at the shoe store because they didn't believe me. And I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you the whole story. So he works at Circus Shoes, and that's my preferred shoe buying location because they have shoes for my gigantic feet. And I go in there and I see this guy in the clown suit, and he comes over and he says, "Do you like shoes?" And it's weird because I recognize him, and I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends, and I'm a loser, and I don't go anywhere except for Circus Shoes and the dentist. And I look really close at him, and I said, "Todd? Todd Howard?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm Todd Howard." I said, "What the hell are you doing here at Circus Shoes? Shouldn't you be making video games?" And he said, "Well, after Creation Club, they had to close the whole studio down. All of ZeniMax is gone." I said, "Well, why haven't I heard of that?" He said, "Well, they sold it off to one of those companies that buy up dead companies, so they can make their money back off of it." It's really weird. But anyway, I work at Circus Shoes now, selling shoes. And I've got an error message here. Todd was probably putting that there because he didn't want me telling the story. Anyway, I said, "Well, okay, Todd, your games are awful and you lied all the time, but I'm going to give you a chance. Sell me some shoes." And he said, "All right, I'll do it." And then he showed me to the shoe wall of lots of shoes, and he said, "You see these shoes? You can wear them." And I said, "Yeah, I know, Todd. That's what you do with shoes. You wear them." And then he started to cry because I yelled at him. And I said, "Hey, don't cry until you're done selling shoes to me." And he said, "You know what, Mr. Catman?" I didn't tell him his name, but I guess he watches these videos. "You are a special guy, and for you, I've got a special pair of shoes." So he goes in the back, brings them out, and he says, "I made these shoes just for you." And they were Velcro shoes. And he showed me how the Velcro kind of worked. Sometimes it just didn't go, but he kept saying, "Look, it just works. It just works. It just works." And I said, "Well, half the time it doesn't work." And he said, "It just works. It just works." I said, "Todd, what the hell are you talking about?" And then he just started going, "It just works. It just works. It just works. It just works." And then he just started bawling. And that really upset me because he hadn't sold me any shoes yet. He just showed me his shoes, and they were crap shoes. Like I said, the Velcro wasn't working right. And it's just one shoe and half of another shoe. I don't know what happened there, why he would just cut one up. Like, why didn't he just have both shoes? I'm hearing a cat eat food over there. Todd probably sent her in. Then we can stop telling the story about him. Not working, Todd. And then he just sits there bawling. And then, you know, who comes out from the back? Pete Hines. He has to work at Circus Shoes too. He's the manager. And he says, "Todd, I've had it with you." And then Todd says, "What do you mean you've had it?" And Pete said, "You can't keep bawling to all the customers. I'm going to have to fire you." And that just made Todd bawl some more. And then Todd said, "What am I going to do? Everybody hates my games and they all hate my shoes." And then I started feeling bad. I said, well, I guess I could buy a shoe. How much is it?" And then Todd says, "Oh, that's a great thing." And just suddenly stops crying, which I didn't notice at the time. In hindsight, I realized it was what happened here. he said, "Oh, that's the great thing about these shoes. They're only $59.99." And he hands the game to me. It's a game. It was a game, not a shoe. The whole thing wasn't a real circus shoes. The whole thing was an elaborate plot to sell me a Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch. And I had already agreed to buy it. And Pete and Todd were laughing at me. And I had to buy it. And then just left. They ran out. They left all the shoes behind. I don't know how much it cost them to run the store just to sell a single copy of Skyrim. But I guess that's pretty fine. I stole some of the shoes. So I got my money back on that. So if you see Todd Howard and he's got some sob story, or he's working at your favorite restaurant or retail store, just remember it's all a plot to sell you a new copy of Skyrim, a new re-released copy of Skyrim. Just don't believe his lies. Todd Howard is a liar. And Pete Hines, I don't know what's up with him. I think he just goes with Todd Howard because he thinks it's just hilarious what Todd's doing. Because every time I see Pete, he's always laughing and giggling at Todd. See you guys later.